It's the Sunday Night League, and you know what that means. It is SNL Season 10 of GTE, round number 3 at the Nordschleife. This is Matt Psycho's choice, the current champion. In the driver's standings, he's unfortunately not taking part and not commentating either. So we have, for the rest of the season, delayed commentary by myself. And let's go through the standings of GTE season number 10, because at the moment it is one man's championship. It is Silent Wolf in the Ferrari. He has won the previous 2 races and has 50 points. He is 10 points ahead of Bunnies in the Mercedes. In third place, also on 40 points, is Gazman, the team boss of Team Beast Mode Mercedes. In fourth place is a former champion, Victory Reign. So the top former champion is in fourth place with 36 points in the Punisher Firestorm Stone Racing Porsche. In fifth place is the Ferrari of Cool Duboy, another former champion, in fifth place with 32 points. For Shadow Realm Racing, that is Specmere's team for Ferrari. In sixth place, making his debut in GTE, is More Cherry. He has 24 points in his Punisher Firestorm Racing Porsche. In seventh, also making his GTE debut, is Yax, also on 24 points in his Mercedes. Eighth place is Ajax with 22 points in the Punisher Firestorm Racing Porsche. Another Punisher Firestorm Racing Porsche is in ninth place, Aloe, with 19 points. Rounding out the top 10 is Rob on drums, also in a Punisher Firestorm Racing Porsche. So those Porsches all in the top 10. In 11th place is Tiny Terror with 13 points for Ferrari. 12th place is Pool Shark, also in the Ferrari with 9 points, equal with Jam in the Mercedes on 9 points. 14th is the reserve Kaiser Grim, who drove for Ferrari in the first round. 15th is Chris Boo in his Ferrari, having made his return at Dragon Trail last week. And in 16th place is Ben, but Ben had disconnect before the race last week, so hasn't actually taken part in these races yet this season. We'll go through the team championship after we go through the grid. Now, qualifying for these GTE races, it was a 50-minute session because of the length of the circuit, and there was rain in the session, so that meant that the faster drivers didn't get a clean track, and it sees Ajax getting his first ever pole position in that Porsche, 6 minute 40.26. He was very clear of his intentions for that pole position because he had a 6-second gap to the driver who is in second, and that is Yax. Yax in the Mercedes, his best qualifying session as well. 6.9 seconds off, though. But that is the type of circuit it is. It is a very long circuit, 12.9 miles, 154 turns. And as I say, the session got rain delayed as well because of the rain halfway through the session. Here, for the first time, is the yellow Deutsche Post Mercedes of Ben. The first time we've seen this on the grid. Very bright, colourful car. Third place. And he leads this group. There's 2 seconds covering 3rd to 8th in qualifying, which around this long circuit is nothing. We've seen very tight qualifying sessions so far this season. So Ben is in 3rd place. In 4th is More Cherry in his Porsche. So it's a very German-heavy attack at the front of this grid. Top 4 are the German marks right now. In 5th place, our top Ferrari is Tiny Terror. He's currently down in 11th place in the championship, but some strong qualifying sessions we've seen him this season. In 6th place is Jam in the Mercedes. So 6th place for Jam, also benefiting from that rain, it would seem. Then, former champion Victory Reign is in 7th place in his Porsche. 4th in the championship right now. He is 14 points behind the leader Silent Wolf as it stands as we go round the bend of the final corner. And here is our championship leader in 8th place. It is MFT Silent Wolf in the Ferrari. Specmere's Shadow Realm racing car is leading the championship currently. 2 wins out of 2 for him. Can he make it 3 out of 3 around the circuit he's traditionally gone very well around before? Well, that's very odd. How strange. Look at this. So, 8th place on this side. 9th place is also on the same side. So Chris Boo is in 9th place in his Shadow Realm Racing Ferrari. Great qualifying session for him as well. And rounding out the top 10 is Pool Shark in his Ferrari. So Ferrari actually having a very good session in terms of the top 10. In 11th place is Bunnies, currently 2nd in the championship, 10 points behind the championship leader in his Mercedes. 12th place is Aloe in his Porsche. 13th place is Cool Do Boy in his Ferrari. Again, getting caught out in the rain at the session. And in 14th place is Gazman in his Mercedes. So the man currently in joint 2nd in the championship, down in 14th. And at the back of the grid, it is Rob on drums in his Porsche. So there is Rob on drums start. He has to start with 2 corners before he even gets to turn number 1. So that is 15th place for Rob. That was the rain and everything else going on in the session as well, catching him out. In terms of the team championship, it's incredibly tight. 7 points cover the 3 teams. Punisher Firestorm Racing Porsche have 117 points. 2 points behind them are Team Beast Mode Mercedes with 115, and just 5 points behind them are the Shadow Realm Racing Ferraris. So 110 for them. In terms of the tyres, everybody is on mediums and hards, so that's very easy. And the Nordschleife is one of those circuits, it's the final one of the season, that can rain as well. So if it rains, they do not have to use the hard tyre. And as I say, there was rain in qualifying. So, without further ado, let's get this underway. We've had a few chats in the comment section. More Cherry in the chat saying, turning Blue Monday around by being here. Popcorn is ready. It is one of those races. It's a fantastic circuit. Obviously, 12.9 miles. That's just over 20 kilometers. 154 turns of this epic circuit. It is a mistake maker. An hour worth of racing is about to get underway. 9 laps of this legendary circuit in Germany. And we'll get them underway. We've got 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 and 5 lights for the top driver. Jam moves slightly in the background. Jump start then for Jam. He gets a slow start, but Ajax is away nicely with Yax straight away under pressure from Ben into turn number 1. So they get through turn 1 very nicely as more... So Victory Rain has got ahead. So has Silent Wolf, and Jam, who made a bit of a jump, is down to 8th. And we can see Bunnies having a go. As we go on board with Cool Duboy. Cool Duboy having a move up. He started in 13th. He's already up into 11th before they get into the twisty little section. Bunnies also on the back of his teammate Jam, who is in 8th. So back to the front of the field. Let's just check. Ajax having a nice start with Yax following with Ben in hot pursuit. Tiny Terror is 4th with More Cherry in 5th. Victory Rain is 6th. He's got Silent Wolf all over the back of him, though. That Ferrari looking quick as we see Bunnies getting past his teammate Jam. So Jam letting him by, but having to slow up, and that means he's under pressure from both the Ferraris, and they both sneak by. Very good move there by Cool Duboy and Chris Boo. So taking advantage of Jam down from 6th, down to 11th place already on this opening lap. They've not done a minute, they've done 1 minute and 16, but Ajax leading the field as it stands. Then we have the very fast section down the hill, up through the bends. Ben is looking good, this yellow Mercedes. First time we've seen it this season. A very quick driver in Formula X. He's down on the standings because of his result of a disconnection on the last round, not a disqualification, as we see Tiny Terror in that Ferrari. Attacking. Oh my word! Victory Rain having a slide in his Porsche. It looks like everybody's on the mediums thus far. More Cherry holding up. They're very, very fast. As I say, traditionally a very quick winner. He's won here before in GTE. Silent Wolf down in 7th place right now. He's made up 2 places, 1 place on the grid though. As they go towards the hairpin, the left-hander is very tight. Always tempts you at an overtake. There's a yellow flag waving though. Somebody's gone round. It's Ajax! Ajax has spun it into the hairpin. Ben has got ahead of Yax. And there you go. You see how tight and twisty it is. He loses it on the downhill. And he's pointing the wrong way. And he's got to... Oh, and there goes Chris Boo joining him in a bit of a spin. So, the front of the grid, it's Ben. The driver we've not seen all season. He's leading at the most difficult circuit we can see, as in the background Tiny Terror is under pressure now from Victory Rain. Victory Rain making a move. Not quite, but in the background we can see Silent Wolf moves himself up into 5th place. The Ferrari driver making short work of this. Getting through the field, he's been followed closely though by Bunnies in the Mercedes, who's got more Cherry next, but as we go back, Victory Rain chasing up the back straights. In the background though, more Cherry under pressure from Bunnies. It looks like Bunnies alongside and past. Oh, now possible touch is in the background. Cool 2 Boy's gone off as well, so they've both gone through Bravery Corner a little bit too brave. Lowy in 10th place in his Porsche is ahead of Pool Shark. Gasman has made himself up into 12th place. He's on the hards as it stands. First driver I can see on the hards. Rob on drums is in 13th place with Ajax after his spin down in 14th place now. The pole man, and there is Chris Boo down in 15th. Oh, Yax has now got into the lead with Tiny Terror because Ben's dropped to 3rd. So these drivers very, very closely packed up as they go through the twisty section towards the end of the circuit. It feels like the end of the circuit, but we've still got another 2 minutes of racing. Ben under pressure though from both of the championship contenders. Victory Rain holding position with the Ferrari, but Ben feeling the pressure already. Victory Rain goes up the inside as Ben runs wide. I don't think there was contact through that corner. As Victory Rain goes up into 3rd now, he is followed by Silent Wolf and Bunnies as well. Holds himself in 5th on board with the Mercedes. As we went through YouTube corner, going up the hill. You can see how tight and bumpy this old circuit is. The car's moving at every opportunity to get air at certain points in the circuit as well. As the Mercedes of Yax leads the way, jumping and bouncing over the bumps, twists and turns. Tiny Terror looking very fast, putting the pressure on. Tiny Terror trying to get into the lead of this race as they come towards the straight. The mini carousel being used nicely by Tiny Terror. In the background, Victory Rain has got all the pressure though of Silent Wolf. As I say, Silent Wolf a bit of a master around this circuit. Victory Rain won his first championship. No, he didn't. He lost his first championship battle at this circuit. He had a very tight battle with Illusion in season number 3. Will Tiny Terror make the move then? In the background, Bunnies gets ahead, but it is Tiny Terror making the position, possibly up on Yax. Will Victory Rain bump draft the Ferrari past the Mercedes? No, he decides not to. They go side by side. They're racing flat out. 170 miles an hour they went into this slow section at the end of the circuit. They all bunch up as everyone gets onto the brakes. Yak's in the pits. Yak's on the pits. He's got the hard tyres on. What a stint then from Yaks. He was on the hards. And Tiny Terror now leads them after the first lap, but he's got everybody behind him. Bunny's having a look into turn one with Silent Wolf. This is great racing around this circuit. It's SNL. Of course it's great racing. Go on board with Bunnies through the twists and turns at the opening start of the lap. You could get it easily wrong as Tiny Terror runs wide and loses the lead. He drops, just moves back onto the circuit. Bunnies goes off but manages to keep going forwards. It doesn't hold him up too much. So tricky through there. The top six, how close are they? Top six are covered by about 3 seconds around such a tight, twisty circuit. And it's so long as well. 6 seconds covering the top six. Sorry, 3 seconds covering the top six. As Victory Rain now under pressure. What an overspeed by the Ferrari. What a speed advantage Silent Wolf had. He made the move before the braking zone and he's away. He's in the lead now. He started down in 8th place. He's now leading at lap 2. All of these drivers started lower down the field, but they're already up in the top 4. Cool Dubois up into 4th place in his Ferrari. So Ferrari's looking very fast here at the Nordschleife. For Tiny Terror still in 5th place with Ben 6th. Morcherry there in 7th. So the top 7, they've pulled away a bit. They've got about a 7-8 second gap to Gasman. Gasman up in 8th. And Jam a couple of seconds behind his teammate now. With a Lowy just behind us. There goes Pool Shark, showing how tricky it is and how easy it is to make a mistake. There is Yaks after his pit stop. He's in 12th place now. So he's made a stop as the yellow flags were waving for Pool Shark. But at the front of the field we have Silent Wolf, followed by Victory Rain and Bunnies in 3rd place, keeping the pressure on. So the former champion is currently 2nd. Bunny's having a very good season too. He's 2nd. We've not seen this before from Bunnies in a GTE season. He's very consistent right now. A couple of podiums for him in the first 2 rounds. As Cool Dubois is 4th in his brightly coloured Ferrari. Keeping contact with the top 3. Tiny Terror also there. A little bit of a wobble though. Considering how long this circuit is, the top 7 are covered by about 5-6 seconds. That is incredibly tight. Chat message from Phil, let me see. Oh no, it's deciding not to. Okay, that's odd. There's the live chat. There's the live chat. Edward James in the chat saying, hi all. Hope this season is going good. Hope to be back soon. Oh, it's Ragemus. Hello, Ragemus. We're missing you, especially with your pictures as well. We haven't seen any this season. If anyone has the replay, take some epic pictures because it's fantastic as they go through the carousel. Cool Dubois under pressure from Ben. So Ben in the Mercedes. Keeping it going. Ben all over the back of Cool Dubois, putting the pressure on this Ferrari. It's not the walk in the park that you'd expect on a Sunday evening. Top cars as Tiny Terror suddenly has dropped a little bit of time. He's back into the pack. This is the thing. This circuit makes mistakes as oh, they all go off. They all go off, and Morcherry picks up places. They all went off. What on earth happened there? Go on board. So, Tiny ran wide, and I think that drew in Cool Dude Boy. And Morcherry just thought, well, I don't know what to do there. I'll just take a position. Could have taken more, I think, there. Cool Dude Boy then up into 4th place. They all run wide. That's so easily done as well around this circuit. Bunny's all over the back, though, of the race leader. Victory Rain has dropped a little bit, but all of a sudden, Silent Wolf has got the pressure of a Mercedes on his tail. What epic racing here in the GTE, as always. As they go through the mini carousel, it looks like the Ferrari ran a little bit wide, and Bunnies will get a good run on the Mercedes going into the very, very important final corner before the straight. But the Ferrari has shown it is very rapid in a straight line. So on board with Bunnies, the Ferrari of Silent Wolf is in front of us. We have got a tow though, and that means we can catch up. Will the challenge happen as they approach the bridge? Bunnies pulls out of the slipstream. He is ahead in the Mercedes, so the Mercedes driver takes the lead before the Blitzstein Bridge. Towards the kink, it's still flat out, 170 miles an hour, 173, touching 174 as they go through the kink and then brake hard down to 2nd gear in the Mercedes. He pops into the pit lane. So, Bunnies in the pit lane. These drivers are splitting off. 3 laps for the top 2 then. So Silent Wolf does a 6:38 in his Ferrari. Cool Dude Boy into the pits. What's his fuel like? His fuel is very different to his teammate Morcherry. We've seen him be very good on fuel this season, and he sets a 6:48. He's followed. Oh, Ben's just run wide through turn 1. A circuit he does not enjoy, he admits, as Gazman booms himself up into 5th. Yax is now 6th. No, Bunnies just popping out the pits behind Yax. Will Bunnies get past his teammate? So these drivers are racing for position. Yax was the race leader before he did his stop, and Bunnies gets past. So Yax is in 7th. 8th is Jam, with Ajax just behind him. 10th is Cool Dude Boy after his pit stop. Tiny Terror is in 11th. I thought he'd spun then because of the way the camera looked. Rob on drums is in 12th. 13th is Aloe. Cool. Chris Boo is in the pits in his Ferrari, as his teammate Pool Shark. At the front is their teammate Silent Wolf in the Ferrari, leading, keeping it all pointing the right way. The Ferrari looks... Whoa, what a slide. This is Silent Wolf's style, though. He is, I believe, I know Fast Guy, his friend, is a rally driver. I wonder if Silent Wolf is. Because of the way he gets that car around corners, he has it drifting, he has it pointing in all sorts of different directions. And I just wonder if he shares a similar passion for rally driving as his friend Fast Guy. I haven't seen Fast Guy for a while here in SNL. I hope he's doing well in Mauritius. Part of the MFT team. Victory Rain is about 3 seconds behind, so this is where Silent Wolf is using that Ferrari to its best. The Porsche, though, looking very stable, although a little bit of lagging from Victory Rain. Morcherry, though, 3rd place in his Porsche too, so they're using that Porsche well. Gazman is in 4th place, but he's got his teammate who's just done a pit stop behind him. So fresh tyres for Bunnies and full power as well. So Gazman has got a bit of fuel saving in that Mercedes. He's on the hards as well, so he will be slower than his Gasman is in 4th, but Bunny's catching up. Yax is there in 6th. 7th is Jam, so 4 Mercedes altogether. With Ajax in the Porsche behind Jam. Jam running wide a little bit out of the corner, using all the concrete on the exit. As they go up the hill, this part of the circuit very, very tricky. Always wants to catch you out. As I say, there's lots of bumps around here as well. Cool Dude Boy is ahead of Ben. Ben has... What's happened to Ben? Ben's got no fuel left. Ben has no fuel. Has he made a mistake? I thought he pitted for fuel. He's down in 10th place, but going very, very slowly in the Mercedes. Tiny Terror is 11th, so he'll catch him up. He's doing his outlap. So Ben has had an absolute disaster. He's missed the pit lane, I think. Something's definitely gone wrong for the Mercedes driver after such a promising start to the race as well. He was racing for the lead early on, but the Mercedes dropping down as it's in limp home mode. Hopefully he finishes the race despite those problems. Yax there, his teammate, in 5th place. So Gasman's dropped a little bit of time. He's dropped down to Yax now. And the hard tyres possibly causing some problems. Yax, though, racing hard in that Vodafone as he goes wide on the exit. Showing how tricky this circuit is. He's not afraid, though, to use the curbs. That's where the secret of speed is around this circuit. If you've got the confidence to use the curbs, use them. However, one touch. Oh, as we see the Ferrari fly over the crest. Fantastic. The Ferrari had all 4 wheels off the circuit. Absolutely fantastic to see that. As we see Jam and Cool Dude Boy, do they go over the hill? No, they don't get off the air. As then Cool Dude Boy goes, oh, and Jam spun it. It's half spin. So Cool Dude Boy getting past Jam. In 7th place now is the former champion. Jam in 9th, dropping down now. Tiny Terror, again, the air being caught by the Ferrari. Fantastic. The Ferrari seems to be one of the cars that goes over the hill so fast that it gets the air. As we go back to the front of the field, there's Silent Wolf leading the race. And the time splits. Oh, he's a lot quicker than Victory Reign on this lap, about 4 seconds as he comes into the pits. So he's doing 3-lap stints, as is Victory Reign. More Cherry, he looks like he'll be doing 3-lap stints as well. Bunny's doing 2-lap stints. So this is going to be a fascinating comparison between the two strategies. Both very similar in pace. The 3-lap stint and the 2-lap stint. Obviously one more pit stop for the 2-lap stint, but because you have more speed, you can gain that pit stop time. Gasman in the pits as well, so that means that Cool Dude Boy will jump up from 7th place. Or will he? Because coming out of the pits, Victory Reign in 3rd place. So Victory Reign, after his pit stop, in 3rd. He'll be happy with that. Back on the medium tyres, as is Silent Wolf. So Silent Wolf pulling away significantly. So Bunny's going towards the bridge. Over it he goes. He's going quicker by a second than the fastest lap. Obviously. So flat through the turn Little bit of a lift on entry by Silent Wolf. A little bit of a lift as well by Victory Reign. So Bunny's going flat, as does Cool Duboy. With Cherry Bomb in 5th. And Tiny Terror in 6th. So Tiny Terror 6th place in the Ferrari. After the pit stops, we have Yax in 7th as well. Gazman 8th. 9th is Ajax, so he's jumped Jam in the pit stops. Jam to 10th. Bull Shark is 11th. He's not that far, 4 seconds between him and Chris Boo. Then Aloe, he's not a fan of this circuit, I remember, in 13th place. Rob on drums in 14th, and the unfortunate Ben, he's still going. Kudos to him, he's getting this car to the pits. He's lost so much time with this. He's about 2 minutes off his best time, trying to get it into the pit lane to refuel. That's his race basically destroyed by a fault, I believe, in the game. It didn't allow him to stop. It does do that sometimes. The pit entry here, I think it's if you decide to pit quite late, it decides, oh, you're not in the pit lane properly, and puts you back on circuit. So he had no choice but to do another lap, which, considering it's 12.9 miles, is not easy. Running out of fuel halfway round the lap, you've still got over 6 miles, over 10 kilometers left to do another pit stop. But at the front of the field, it is Bunnies. We expect him in at the end of this lap, though. He's doing 2 lap stints. In comparison, Silent Wolf, who's behind him, is doing the 3 lap stint, sorry. So he's doing 2 stops. So Bunny's doing a 3-stopper, whilst we see Silent Wolf doing a 2. All these drivers as well are on medium and hard tyres, so all the team bosses, that's Specmere, Gazman and the Punisher, all deciding that's the best way to go around the longest circuit of the season. Try and use the mediums for as long as possible, try and get away from the rain as well. We had rain in qualifying, that resulted in a lot of the faster drivers actually being lowered down on the grid, but now you can see they're at the front. The top 4 are all in the top 5 in this championship. More Cherry having a very good race again in that Porsche. 5th place for him. And having a great GTE debut season. I knew I was going to sneeze then, that's why I kept popping off the mic, because I didn't want to sneeze down the microphone. Disturb all your ears. Tiny Terror there, 6th place still for the Ferrari driver, having a very, very good race. Currently down in 11th place, but that does not convey the speed he has got in that Ferrari. He's had some unlucky turns in the first 2 rounds, and 6th place around the Nordschleife at this stage, 25 minutes, 23 minutes, 26 minutes, sorry, really shows that he has got pace and confidence in that car. He is ahead of Yax, who is on an outlap in that Mercedes. He's off kilter with everybody else. He pitted on the first lap, running the hards on the opening stint. He led the race at that point as well. So don't discount this Mercedes, as it rides the curbs, jumps into the air as well. Fantastic to see. As we then follow Gazman, as he also kicks up some sparks Got Ajax following too. Let's have a look at the Porsche. Can it get some air? Don't think we're going to get the advantage of seeing it. No. As Jam goes up in the air in the background. So this is the air corner. The air straight, basically. Pool Shark is in 11th. Does he get air? Do we get the advantage of getting that angle? Will we have... Yes, we do. A little bit of a bounce is at the front of the field. Bunnies comes into the pits. And it's sliding that Ferrari so aggressive. Flying through the corners. He takes the lead then, as Bunnies just enters the pit lane now. Into the pits, changing the tyres. Some new Hankook tyres for him. As Cool Duboy also in the pits in his Ferrari. So they're running similar strategies. The 2-lap stints, as I said. As Victory Rain gets into second place. Bunnies out of the pits though in third. So the strategy is working. More Cherry is in fourth place. Cool Duboy still in the pits. And that means Yax will get up into fifth place now. So Yax, he's 40 seconds behind the race leader. And Gazman just ahead of Cool Duboy. So Gazman in his Mercedes ahead of Cool Duboy's Ferrari. The different strategies in GTE, this is what it's all about. It's endurance racing. Different strategies take shape as Ajax is behind Jam. So both of these drivers having a little bit of a fight between themselves. Tiny Terror comes out to join it. So they're all quite happy with their progress. Pool Shark into the pits then as Chris Boo comes in too. Although he does not. 7-11. Porsche gets itself up into 11th place for the 57. Silent Wolf though going past the Rebel Tree. The sun shining here at the Nordschleife. The Ferrari looking supreme in the hands of Silent Wolf. He has won the first 2 rounds of this season as well. However, because of the difference in the points, yes, a little bit wide at the hairpin. I mean, that has been very, very critical. Let's compare that to Victory Rain. Keeps it nice and tight, carries the speed a little bit more. He gained a bit of time. He's actually fastest as it stands. As the drivers are getting towards the hairpin. You can see more Cherry in the Porsche as well, keeping it tight, keeping the speed on. Quite happy. And we'll see Yax as well. They're all nicely spread as Yax. Oh no! No, Yax shows how easy it is to have an accident in there, and that results in Gazman moving up as well. So Yax dropping it through the corner as Jam has got Ajax right behind him. Will go on board with the Porsche as they both approach the chicane. Jam going a little bit defensive into the corner, but moving away, so they're keeping themselves happy. Ajax, the man who was on pole position as well. The race not going the best for him. He lost it into that chicane, except that hairpin on the opening lap. Aloe has got company though. He's got Rob on drums behind him. The 2 Porsches. Rob on drums getting a bit of a momentum shift though. Can he pass his teammate who's ahead? They're approaching this hairpin now. Keeping it on the track, keeping it pointing the right way. Oh, as Aloy spins it. So Aloy spun it. He's hit the front and rear of his car and drops down. Pool Shark then in 13th place. 14th for Chris Boo. And now back on the pace. It is Ben. He's on the hard tyres now. He's running his hards. He's a long way off the back of Chris Boo after those issues with the pit lane. As I think Chris Boo is pointing the wrong way, looking at the mini-map, but pointing the right way. His fellow Mauritian, Silent Wolf. The Ferrari looking supreme as it jumps again once more. Sparks fly as it hits the ground. Bit of a wobble, but it never goes into the wall. It's car control supreme around this tight, narrow circuit. Victory reign. Second place for him so far. As we've said, running very different strategies to Bunnies, who's in third. Bunnies has the speed, he can go flat out in this Mercedes. Oh, as he slides it as well. See how much on the edge these drivers are around this circuit. Mistakes are so close to happening each time. You hit a bump, hit a curb, turn a corner. It's all about being in tune with your car. And they often say it is a true test of the driver's abilities. Cool Dude Boy's had a bit of an off. And some damage on the right front. It's gone now as he goes through the mini carousel. Not far behind him is Gazman. The sun shines beautifully here at the Nordschleife. Say what you like about this game. There are a lot of faults and issues, but one thing they get right is the atmosphere, the atmospherics. Just see the mist start to form. Now, does that mean, as cars are coming through, Ajax is in 7th place now, with Yax in 8th. So Jam dropping down then, behind Ajax now. They were fighting each other. Tiny Terror has also gone off possibly as well. Jam going down the straight. So, anybody going to the pits? They don't seem to be. Silent Wolf there leads the field. Victory reign though. He's got Bunnies catching him. The lights turn on Bunnies as well, as they do with Victory Reign. It's about a 5-second gap between those drivers as into the pits comes Ajax, in comes Yax, in comes Jam as well. So they're coming into the pits. Tiny Terror, he'll jump them all. So the lights are on as well on the Ferrari. So he jumps up into 7th place now. It's so tricky to know where you are in the pecking order as those drivers come into the pits, although he doesn't look like he'll be close enough to take advantage of that. So all the drivers come in ahead of him. So 3 drivers in the pits. Ajax the first of those as he comes out, I believe. So he's on intermediates. Ajax is on intermediates. Yax is on mediums. So, is it raining? Let's go on board. Well, Ajax, we're on board with him. The wipers aren't going. It is darker though, and he's got intermediates on. So does that mean Yax has gone on to mediums? Is that a mistake? Or has Ajax seen on the radar rain approaching? And given it's such a long circuit, if it hits halfway around the track, Ajax might be in the driving seat, but he has to be careful because those intermediates might tear themselves to pieces on what is a dry circuit. At the front of the field, let's see, there's no rain on this part of the circuit. The wipers aren't going. It is incredibly dark though. But nothing doing. You can see Victory Lane is getting pressurized now by Bunnies. Bunnies is catching up bit by bit on the Porsche. The Porsche is having its pressurized moments. The top three cars are all different as well. We've got a Ferrari, a Porsche and a Mercedes. And it's the same for the next three. A Porsche, a Ferrari and a Mercedes. And I think it works as well for 7th, 8th and 9th. Let's have a look. Yep. 7th is a Ferrari, 8th is a Porsche, and there we see rain. Where Tiny Terror is on the circuit, there is rain. The rain light is on, there is rain on the circuit. That means Ajax, although he's lost time to Yax, has he pulled off a great move? He's put the intermediate tyres on. Yax having to fight that Mercedes. The wipers are wiping. As you can see, the intermediates of Ajax, they did wear, but now he has an opportunity as it starts to get wetter and darker around this circuit. Let's have a look what the drivers at the front of the field are doing. Well, these are warm tyres on Silent Wolf. He's looking a little bit like, oh no, this is not what I wanted leading this race. He is sliding around. Bunnies has got ahead of Victory Lane. So Bunnies is ahead of Victory Lane. Victory Lane's tyres are a bit more worn than Bunnies. Does that mean they don't have as much grip in these cooler conditions? Might be the case. Morcherry taking it very, very cautiously through the carousel. Very, very tiptoey. Cool 2 Boy taking the higher line through the wetter. Oh, sliding the Ferrari. As Gasman 2 taking it easy. Now you can see the trickiness for these drivers. I say that, but Tiny Terror absolutely flying. Holding it nicely. All of a sudden, though, Ajax looking quite happy. He is travelling. He's moving very, very quickly towards Tiny Terror. As Tiny Terror's gone off. Tiny Terror goes off the circuit in these damp conditions. Ajax moves himself up into 7th place. He's the only driver on mediums. Yellow flags are flying because Morcherry has been off, it looks. So we see the drivers all fighting. Still a long way to go though for Silent Wolf as he goes through the mini carousel as Bunnies goes off the circuit. Bunnies goes off and that means Victory Lane gets past. It's gone board. So it stopped raining, it would seem. It's gone board then. Tricky conditions for Victory Lane. As we'll see, Bunnies just slides off. He's slightly offline. Typically quicker right-hander suddenly becomes more of an issue. And Victory Lane's wipers have stopped. As going on to the back straight. Now, normally, not a problem. But in wet conditions, you see it's pretty wet as well. Halfway up on that wet indicator. You could aquaplane. It is not your friend at all in the wet. This circuit becomes so treacherous. Morcherry currently in 4th place. Cool Duboy also on the mediums. It looks like it's starting to get a bit drier. So is Ajax. It's quite a way ahead of Yax now. As Yax is struggling. As into the pits then. So the choice. Is Yax going off once more? It's a long way between those drivers. Bunnies is back ahead of Victory Rain. Victory Rain has gone off. Did Victory Rain go off? Oh, so Bunnies went off in the kink and they just slide around. Oh dear. They slide around each other. How on earth have they not caused more damage all of a sudden though? Cool Dude Boy can see 4th place. These wet conditions helping him catch up to More Cherry. Onto the back straight he goes. He's due a pit stop. And so is More Cherry. But the Ferrari is just going to drive past the Porsche. He does. So the Ferrari up into 4th place. The driver in the lead of this race though is out. He's on hards. Well, he's on hards. It is cold. It is wet. The hard tyres are not going to enjoy this. Intermediates for Bunnies. So Bunnies has gone on to Inters. But it's not raining any longer. Hard tyres for Victory Rain as well. So they've gone for the driest set of tyres. Cool Dude Boy in, More Cherry in, Gasman in, Ajax on the Inters. He's pulled a big gap to him and Yax. Yax, in fact, being overtaken by Tiny Terror. So Tiny Terror in the Ferrari getting past the Canadian. So they've managed to get themselves away. So Bunnies is on Inters and he's got past. So he's got past Silent Wolf. So Silent Wolf on the medium tyres on the dries and Bunnies just drives past him. Bunnies getting past on those Inters. So the intermediate tyre is the tyre to be on. Those on the mediums might, or even the hards in the case of Silent Wolf, might have made a mistake. The Inters are the tyre right now. In the chat we can see More Cherry says, I lost count of my spins before that pit stop. Very, very tricky conditions. I know a lot of people spun in the wet. Ajax with his intermediates is up into 4th place. Has he done the call of the race? Although those Inters are half worn out. Intermediates for Cool Dude Boy as well. So he's come out of the pits onto the Inters. Hard tyres for More Cherry, and he's got Gasman just behind in the Mercedes on board with the Snake. Gasman putting pressure on, but in fact, More Cherry, more confidence through the corner, pulling away despite the hard tyres. Gax in 8th, Tiny Terror 9th, Jam in 10th, with a Lowy in the pits now. What does he choose to go on? Full Shark also in, and Rob on drums in his Porsche. They're all putting tyres on. Cool Dude Boy, Chris Boo, sorry, in 14th place on his own, starting to look a bit drier. So I wonder if the cars ahead. Oh, it's a Lowy. He's on the mediums. So is Pullshot. They're so close together. And out comes Rob on drums. So they're on the medium tyres. Ben is on Inters. So he went for the Inters, as did his teammate Bunnies, and it's got him the lead of this race. In the background, you can see Silent Wolf, or you could. What's the gap between them then? It's about 3 seconds. So the gap between the top two is 3 seconds. Bunnies pulling away, but it is drier. Now, Bunnies, is he due a stop now? Not really. He's on his out lap. But will he decide, actually, I need to do a pit stop? The top three are all on out laps. But Bunnies is going to have to decide, does he do his stop at the end of this lap? Because you can see there's no spray coming off the back of the cars. Ajax, his intermediates now looking very, very, very worse for wear. Cool Dubois is catching him up. He's on intermediates as well. It means he can position his car wherever he wants. Doesn't have to keep it on that dry line, which you can see is appearing on board with Cool Dubois. We go towards Bravery Corner. This is going to be very telling. So down a gear, off the power, but it looks like he's gained time on Ajax ahead. Ajax, his rear intermediates are not happy. Trying to get it stopped before they get to the carousel. A little bit of spray. Which line do they go for? Ajax doesn't look like he's got a response to Cool Dubois though. As Cool Dubois gets ahead before the carousel, he goes low line. Ajax going high line. And Ajax just trying to get this Porsche to the end of the lap. He's going to have to change his tyres. His brother, on the other hand, Bunnies, he is leading the race. He's finding wet patches, but is he finding patches that are wet enough? Because look, the racing line, it's still wet, but not as wet as it was. So Bunnies has got a tough decision to make. And he'll have to make it very soon as he goes through the mini carousel for the 7th time. Will he pit at the end of this lap? I think it might have to be the case. He has to pit. Get onto the medium tyres and try and chase down Silent Wolf. Victory Rain currently in 3rd place. He's on the hards. He'll be running to the end of the race with that setup. Cool Dubois, I think he'll have to pit again, as will Ajax. Ajax tyres now are not looking very happy. Yes, Bunnies will be pitting this lap. He maybe only did 1 lap of fuel. It looks like this was the tactic. Use the inters for 1 lap. Try and get the lead and pit. In he comes. Oh, a little bit of a hit as he comes in, but the inters will be coming off. So Silent Wolf gets back into the lead of this race. So they've got through the wet period. Have these drivers. Will it rain again though? 2 laps to go around the Nordschleife. That's still 25 miles of racing. Anything can happen in that sort of time. It's about 7 laps of racing on a normal circuit. Cool Dubois in 4th. He's not going to get past Bunnies, who comes out of the pits now. And he is on medium tyres. So mediums for Bunnies. So no need to run the hards, although he did do earlier in the race. Cool Dubois in 4th place. He's ahead of Ajax, Ajax. His tyres are worn out. So he's gone too long on them. Morcherry is in 6th. Gazman has got Yax just behind him. Yax has got the slipstream. Is he going to get past? So he's going to bum draft. He's going to bum draft his teammate. They go down through the Blitzstein Bridge towards the end of the lap. Gazman will not be pitting. I think Gazman will be going to the end of the race now, as there's a yellow flag up ahead because Ajax has spun it in the pit lane. Can he get that car into the pits? Yes, he can. As drivers come in, you can see Cool Dubois in the pits as well. So medium tyres for him. The pit lane is wet, but the racetrack, although a little bit damp, is definitely ready for medium tyres. Yax in the stops. Ajax is in. Tiny Terror might jump these two. He might not jump Yaks. Yaks coming out of the pits. Out he comes. It's Ajax. He's in an 8th. Tiny Terror then. Not able to catch up. Jam on medium tyres. Pull Shark on the mediums as well. Rob on drums. Keeping a close eye on Pull Shark. You can see Pull Shark just ahead of him. Aloe in 13th. Chris Boo in 14th place. Jumps over the bump. And Ben, is having a bit of a slide. Ben having one of those evenings. He's shown great pace. But just not working out for him at this circuit. I'm sure next week at Daytona, he will be looking for a better result. Daytona Road Circuit. It's the Roar at the 24. Next weekend, and SNL are doing their bit as well. The final 2 rounds are Daytona and Bathurst. Mount Panorama. We have not seen for a very long time a driver win all the races in an SNL GTE season. So far, it looks very, very good for Silent Wolf. The lights turn on the Ferrari, but that isn't because it's about to rain. The light is fading here at the Nordschleife. And Silent Wolf. A circuit he's won at before. Driving a Mercedes. All the way back. In season number 3. Season 10. The driver that lost out in season 1's championship by 1 point to Matt Psycho. So far, dominating season number 10. Victory Rain, though, he's been in this situation before. His first championship win, the driver he was fighting won the first 3 races. Victory Rain won the final race and the championship that season. And it was Daytona that caused issue for the driver that was leading that championship. Will history strike again? Who knows? Silent Wolf will be hoping not. The team championship is incredibly close. As I said before the start of this race, 7 points covering all 3 teams. And we've got a mix. So the top 6 positions all have the 2 different cars, and I think the top 9 positions, yes they do, the top 9 positions also have 3 different cars. Go on board with Ajax, the light fading here at the Nürburgring. He's got Tiny Terror ahead of him. The man on pole position. He's in 9th. After this race has proven very, very attritional. Jam in 10th in the Mercedes, so he's done a pit stop. Jam has done a stop. Tiny Terror will have to do a stop. So based on that, so Ajax keeping the pressure on. They go towards the carousel. Where does he go? We saw him going high in the rain. It's completely bone dry now in the carousel. So the circuit has dried out. This looks like the closest battle on circuit. I'll say that. There's a close battle happening. Rob on drums. No. So in fact, yes, Tiny Terror and Ajax is the closest battle. Ferrari versus Porsche. The Ferrari does have to stop though. Doesn't mean that Tiny Terror has to yield to Ajax. And he won't. I'm sure of that. Well, he runs wide though. And that means that Ajax, in the end, is an easy pass to Tiny Terror. Tiny Terror running wide onto the gravel. Easily done in YouTube corner. Let's go back to the front of the field because Silent Wolf is on his final lap. The Ferrari driver leading the way. Speckmere watching this, saying, "This is why I signed him. I went heavy for Silent Wolf and Cool Dude Boy, and they're doing very well in this championship." Silent Wolf proving he could get the victory. He really is flying along. He only had 3 victories before this season, and he's on for his 3rd of this season, so doubling his victories in GTE. A driver who often should be higher up in terms of victory counts. It shows how competitive GTE is. Bunny's in 3rd place. He's got Gazman behind him, his teammate. The sun sets here in Germany. Gazman though, he's got Cool Dude Boy chasing him down. It's a former champion. He's got 4 drivers ahead of him, but the one closest to him is Gazman, and it's about a second between the two, which around this circuit is basically nose to tail. It's Gazman. Oh, a little bit of a slide. Getting it slowed down into 2nd gear. We've seen this Ferrari looks very, very fast in straight lines. And it is catching. It is catching very, very rapidly. Spark's being kicked up by Gazman. Trying to put off the orange Ferrari that chases it. A little bit of a wobble on the curves, but that's how you are fast at this circuit. Go back to the front. It's looking all smooth for Silent Wolf. Victory Reign in 2nd place. Bunny's in 3rd, is not far away. The lights are blazing now, as Gazman has got all the pressure in the world being applied behind him. Cool Dude Boy not making the move at the hairpin, having to fight the car over the bumps. They're so closely matched as he gets past on the exit. So he gets past on the exit. Gazman unable to do anything about it. Gazman running the 3-lap strategy, having to fuel save, so he hasn't quite got the power to defend himself, and we saw it there. Cool Dude Boy able to get the acceleration and use that to help him, although Gazman is all over the back of the Ferrari now. So they are tightly matched. We're staying with this battle. This is one of the tight battles, although ahead, I think we've got a tight battle for 2nd place. Not quite. So this is the tightest battle on the circuit. And it's for 4th place. Cool Dude Boy He's ahead now, but he can't make a mistake as he runs wide on the exit. Cool Duboy in 4th place. Gasman 5th. Into the carousel they go. So Cool Duboy keeping himself ahead of Gasman. Up at the front of the field. Silent Wolf comes through the mini carousel for the final time. Let's have a top 10 rundown. So Silent Wolf leads from Victory Lane. Bunnies is in 3rd place. Cool Duboy in 4th. Gasman dropping back slightly now in 5th place. 6th place is More Cherry. 7th is Yax. 8th is Ajax. 9th is Tiny Terror. And 10th is Jam. Rob on drums is 11th. 12th is Pool Shark. 13th, just behind him, is Aloe. 14th place is Chris Boo. And in 15th, running wide, is having a bit of a nightmare now, is Ben. But coming through the final corners, it is going to be Silent Wolf with the victory once more here in season number 10. He slides it out of the final corner, flashes the lights to take victory here. As in 2nd place, whoa my word, Victory Lane has got all the pressure of Bunnies right behind him. Bunny's keeping that Mercedes tight against the Porsche, but the Porsche is going to hold 2nd place. What a race between these two, as Bunny's finishes 3rd, in fact runs through him. Cool Duboy though, he's got more of a chance of finishing 4th. He's pulling away from Gasman. Gasman not having a response to the Ferrari. They go into the final straight for the last time. More Cherry in 6th place. He's not far behind them. Yax 2 coming towards the mini carousel for the final time. Let's go and look at Cool Duboy. He's got Gasman behind. Gasman holds the position, the darkness falling. You can see in the background War Cherry also on the straight. Cool Duboy then coming towards the end of the lap. He's going to finish in 4th place. And finishing 4th. Not a bad result for the Ferrari driver. 5th place for Gasman after qualifying in 14th place. More Cherry brings the Porsche home. It is 6th place for him. Happy with that result. Yax is going to finish in 7th place. Across the line he goes. Ajax is going to get 8th. So, top 8 for Ajax. And the Porsche crossing the line to finish the position. Tiny Terror is 9th place. 10th is Jam. 11th is Rob on drums. Lowy has all the pressure in the world between him and Pool Shark. And we'll stop it there, I think, because I don't think we've got much left of the replay at all. So we've got about 20 seconds left of the replay, and I don't think it's going to be enough for Pool Shark to get past. Let's see No, I think Aloe's going to get it. So let's... Oh dear. That's what happens. So there's the jump start. For Jam. Let's go all the way to the end of the race. That's what happens sometimes at the Nordschleife, because everyone is unable to finish the race. We end up with a situation where the replay runs out. So let's have a look at the final standings of this race, because that's how they finished. They're incredibly close, but the winner of the race was Silent Wolf. Absolute domination from the Ferrari driver in that car. He's looking strong for the championship now. 3 wins in a row. Victory Reign in second place in the Porsche. He is hoping to move himself further up the championship order. Bunny's a strong third again on the podium for him. Cool Duboy in 4th place for the Ferrari. So he puts himself in contention, moving himself further up the field. Gasman down in 5th, so the top 5 in the championship, in the top 5 in this race, in a different order slightly. 6th place was Morcherry. In fact, the top 6 are all in championship order. 7th is the man 7th in the championship, Yax. And 8th place was the man 8th in the championship, Ajax. So that's how they went into the championship going into this race. 9th place was Tiny Terror. Good top 10 for him. 10th place is Jam, his best result this season. Rob on drums in 11th, despite all of his troubles in this race. Aloe just beats Pool Shark on the counter then. So Pool Shark just missing out on Aloe. He'll be frustrated by that. Chris Boo in 14th place. And finally Ben. Very unfortunate race for him this evening after a very strong start. But doesn't like this circuit. It's all looking very good for... Oh my word. Some of these angles. There he is. So it's all looking very good for Silent Wolf. 3 races in a row. Daytona road course next time out. And as I said before, the last time somebody won the first 3 races and Daytona was next, it was a bit of a disaster. What will happen this time round? Silent Wolf looking for his first ever championship, not just one in SNL. Will he be able to do it? We'll find out next week. Join us there live on a Monday. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.